Hello, lovely people.
Welcome to Walkie Talkie.
I am here with Abigail.
And I'm here with Jochem.
And this is a podcast for students where each week we discuss a topic related to student life or whatever else is going on in our lives.
We review a topic and speak of our experiences with it, and it's a great way to relax between your studies.
And yeah, the podcast is called Walkie Talkie because, we walk and talk.
And the topic for this week's episode is
funny miscellaneous stories.
oh god,
You are in the Walkie Talkie studios. Yeah. Have you heard them? They are like in LA. They're like Disney studios, and then next to it is Walkie Talkie
yeah,
studios.
we've got it next to the Disney.
Yeah, we're producing like all in all. You brought your balloon.
balloon.
Yeah. Balloon. Yes. What's on the balloon?
King Charles.
King Charles II. Okay. Hello. The old. Oh, sorry. There you go. I know very little of King Charles. All right, but are you going to do something special in coronation?
I'm gonna get that.
And these fuckers, huh? Look, they could have done the coronation on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday. No, they do it on a Saturday, and they were already free.
I don't know why they just on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, let's say everybody can have a party, or do it on a Friday, so that everybody.
We do have a bank holiday, so they can have a party.
What bank? Which bank
We have a bank
holiday?
holiday on Monday.
All right.
Yeah, we have
I thought it was last Monday.
Yeah, we have two.
Oh wow, the Brits really.
Get off as well. We get 3 bank holidays this May.
Oh wow! The whole day,
Well.
the whole world is working except for the and that includes me apparently. But no, I don't have them.
So.
No.
Yeah.
All
Which
right.
I'm not mad about, so I'm all right.
No, yeah. I mean, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bank holiday party. All right.
Yeah, all the street parties and the bunting and everything up, and people having like little tea parties and stuff, like they
Oh,
did
really?
for V-Day. I think it was a V-Day. Yeah.
What's V-Day?
It was like Veterans Day or something.
Oh, Veterans Day. All right. Yeah. No, I respect those. Yeah, they freed me. The Dutch. True story. Yeah. Still think about that. I do actually. Yeah. Have you been to Memorial Park?
Yes.
It's pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It was like very poignant after the whole Ukraine thing as well.
Yep. Yeah. Very poignant. Yeah. I agree. I think I actually made a picture back then about it also. I walked through there and was like, "Fuck! All right, here are all these people that every tree is a man or a woman that got killed, and then people are fighting. It's crazy. Yeah. How would you do in a war?
What do you think?
I'm not sure.
A warrior.
A warrior.
I'd
Yeah.
be leading the charge. I'd be
Yeah.
like, my soldiers don't give up.
Really?
My soldiers
Yeah,
rage.
you're like 300 Spartans. That's your crew. All right, yeah. I would be in the back. Just sort of say, "Oh yeah, you go that way." I'll be like I'll do strategy.
You wait to see what like people do and then do the opposite.
No, I would behave like a madman, and then they say like, you're not good for war. You can go home.
You're not mentally fit.
No, you're not mentally fit for war.
The psych evaluation test.
I'm sure. They won't let me in. I'll be too much of a crazy person. They're like, look, you need to listen to what people are saying, okay? So no.
You'd be like the jester, like the one that like distracts people.
Yeah.
The subplot of the war. You'd
Yeah.
be like, hey guys, watch this, and then we'd all charge off over the trenches.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Sort of go the crazy man, just
Yeah.
running on the trenches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they say, look, have you seen Nothing New on the Western Front, or have you read it? Better question. Nothing New on the Western.
No.
All right, it's also on Netflix now. It was like filmed last year, and it's actually a German book called Nichts Neues im Westen. In my best German here, and it's very nice because it's a book written about First World War from the perspective of German soldiers.
Okay.
And there is in that camp of German soldiers. I mean, I'm of course pro Britain soldiers, but in this case, the German soldiers. There's one guy, and he's like the madman, because at some point he just says like, we could also just stop fighting. That we just walk to them and say, look, we don't want this anymore. Can we just stop? And then everybody's like laughing. No, we can't do that. And, that's actually the thing.
Yeah, very sort of optimistic nihilism.
Yeah, well, if sort of both parties just say, look, let's stop. I mean, these are just generals and other sort of crazy people that are deciding this. It's not us deciding, right? We are just here in fucking trenches dying, and they're in the back sort of giving out orders and not dying.
Yeah.
And then funny thing is, and this is interesting, that actually there have been these moments, like for example during Christmas time in the First World War.
I just wanted to say they played football, didn't they?
Yeah, they played football, they ate together, they sang Christmas songs together. They had like 3 days of peace. And then after 3 days, what do you think? They're just going to fight again. What the fuck? I would say let's not do this. Right? Let's stop.
You're at Matthew McConaughey, like, it's all about living, man.
Well, no, but look, can somebody explain to me how it's possible that you have 3 days or 2 days where you're just sitting together, you're sharing food, sharing cigarettes, just chilling out, and then 2 days later you decide, oh, right, let's just shoot on each other again. What the heck are we going to do today? Except for this diversion.
Reading just stories that are funny.
You've written fun. You wrote them.
No, I'm not that creative.
Okay, where did you find them?
I found them on a mix between Twitter and Reddit. Reddit is great, but it's a bit of a what do you call it?
A cesspool.
I was going to say that, but no, like what's the word?
Overkill.
A black hole, maybe?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Don't know. I thought hole, but I was thinking like sinkhole, deep hole.
Yeah. No, it's it's like too much of a good thing. There's just so much that you can't pick.
And stuff is, and also you're reading stuff that like this is the funniest thing I've ever read in my life, and I'm reading it and I'm like so straight faced. I'm like, okay, we've all got different senses of humour, clearly.
Yeah, that's what I mostly have. Today I saw a very funny video, and actually, the first time I thought, this is a good one from YouTube. You had this dude called Louis, Luis. I don't know the man, but apparently he's an Italian comedian. And he went to France to eat, it says like top 5 croissants. And he went to Paris to try like the top 5 croissants. And then he is in the middle of these riots there, and he's trying to report about croissants. So he's like eating a croissant, and in the middle there's like all kinds of bombs going off.
Oh my
and
God.
people are smashing things, and he's just, and this is,
Is it like classical music as well? Like a Renaissance painting?
Yeah, I can show it to you. It's. I thought it was, this is my type of humor. I find it really funny. Louis croissant. Here you go. Yesterday there was all kinds of people coming to me. Do you really wake up at 5?
Really?
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
You see, so inspirational.
Yeah, and then but now everybody get it wrong, because now everybody thinks you need to get up at 5. So I told these students, like, look, don't get up at 5. I mean,
you're not telling them what to do.
No, exactly. And then I said, look, do you also understand that if I get up at 5, I go to bed at 8?
Yeah.
And that they didn't understand.
Yeah.
They really thought I was like Elon Musk waking up at 5 and then starting at 2.
2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, fuck that. And Elon Musk is neither, or he's on some super mad. But you can't live off 2 hours of sleep. Sorry.
You can read this one because this is very you. I feel like this is a comment you would make.
All right, here we go. We have a quote of Benton. So today I was looking at a girl because she had a piece of lettuce in her hair. And she looks at me and said, I have a boyfriend. Okay, lettuce head. Love it. Good one. Good one. Lettuce head. Yeah, can you give us men that are listening here some tips? Maybe we should, I don't want to cultivate the man-woman difference, right? But there are certain things that men don't really know if they can say something or what the reaction is. So today I was walking behind a woman, much younger than me, and she was going to the supermarket or whatever, and on her leg, on the back of her leg, was a sticker, but that was obviously not supposed to be there. So it looked just.
Did it say like size small or something like that?
No. It was just something, maybe a piece of tape or something like that. And it just looked weird because it looked like she had a hole in her. And then do you say something about this?
I mean, did you?
No, because I thought, then
Well, you shouldn't
she
grab
might
it
be. Yeah, but she then might thought, oh, he's looking at my legs.
For my personal opinion, I wouldn't think that. I just think you spotted it and you said, "Oh, by the way, you've got a thing on it."
Yeah.
I'd be a bit embarrassed because I'm walking around with a sticker on me.
Oh, yeah,
But
okay.
I prefer you to tell me. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's bad.
All right, good. All right, do you have a female man question for me?
No.
All right, maybe one comes up. Maybe later. I can give some tips and advice.
Okay. Right. So this is on Reddit. Okay. I've only got basically 3 stories. They're quite long, so that's why I've not picked many. So I don't know if you find this funny.
Very good.
You might not find this funny at all. I just thought it was the things that people get themselves into. I could imagine doing something like this myself if I was that desperate.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times to me just how important it was to make a good impression.
Yeah.
I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the 3 of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seemed to be really hitting it off. She laughed at my well-timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon she brought out the main course, a nice big juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked this steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably could have resuscitated the cow had I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating the steak. I could claim veganism. Now, I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this 3rd-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive, realising that she could return at any moment. I committed. I grabbed the steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice, and executed a perfect throw right through the centre of the open window. Here's the big time fuck you. The window wasn't open.
Whoa, all right.
It was the cleanest freaking window you've ever seen in your life. That is until my mostly raw slab of steak slammed up against it and slowly slid down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare, was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into more of a "there is no place on this planet you can ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger.
Yeah.
My wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on the window and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the blood trail, my empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but it was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, "I'm so sorry, I'm such a klutz. I don't know, I was just cutting it and it just slipped, right, honey? I'm such a klutz." Both women continued to stare at me like I'd escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent exclamation. I knew no one was buying the story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody, raw steak.
Oh, well, so actually people believe that it slipped off. Okay.
Yeah, I remained pretty quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, "I'm fine."
All right. Okay. Wow. Yes. I mean, innovative solution to try and throw it out. I respect that. Although it's pretty stupid that you think the window is open.
It just
Yeah. And then, that people actually believe that, that it's sort of jumped off of the plate.
To be fair, if you're cutting it with like vigor, it could slide off.
Wow, yeah, maybe. But such a, no. But then, I mean, next time, right, this person should just, whenever you just eat it, swallow it in whole and just...
Say, look, I really just can't do the blood on this thing.
Yeah, or just be honest about it. And then also, after you try to throw it out the window and it didn't work, then be honest. That's even cooler that you say, so, look, I can't deal with this. I tried to sort of solve it in this way. It's very stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe we can laugh about this, but, this is not for me.
Let's see. What else have we got? Okay, this is a really bizarre one. like quite bizarre, so bear with.
All right.
And it said, answer to the question, what is your silent, unseen act of personal defiance?
What is personal defiance? What does that mean?
Defiance, like when you go against something, like would you personally go against
all right.
what you hate?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you defy something.
Yeah, all right, I got you.
Yeah. The caption is, the little thing you do that you really shouldn't, but you do anyway because fuck you. Basically. Okay, so this is by someone called Ruby Rod.
Ruby, let's go.
So.
Ruby.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Okay. It starts off with, if I decide to stare, it's usually with it, yeah, what the fuck are you going to do about it, look? I'm about 6'7", so even when I'm just trying to be friendly and meeting a family member's or friend's kid for the first time, I've noticed they get very high between their mother's legs, intimidated on sight of me if I'm not sitting down. So it's not hard for me to silence/intimidate a child, especially when I'm trying to. Mm-hmm. However, a few times I've been called out. One time I was pretty drunk with a friend at Target. This little Mexican 5 to 7-year-old with a mohawk was being an insufferable little shit in the action figure section. Mm-hmm. I heard him from like 5 hours over and it was like nails on a chalkboard. I tell my friend, I'm going to fart on this kid's head. Watch and learn.
Whoa.
I saunter on over to the aisle in question to see the vile little prick calling his mum an idiot for not buying him a huge fucking G.I. Joe the movie vehicle, which pissed me off even more because it's not even a good movie. Mm. I already bought that one for you and you broke it by throwing it down the stairs, the mum said. Shut up, I need it. It's the only one I don't have now, the kid screamed. Mm. The mother was younger than me, I'm mid-20s, and gave a defeated look. The kid screamed, you're an idiot, and continued to just berate and publicly shame this woman. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was on a strict Chipotle carnitas burrito diet, and while I was watching all this, my stomach gave me an initial warning gurgle, telling me I was about an hour away from punishing the toilet. Serendipity, destiny, you might say.
Oh, no.
I inch a bit closer to my prey, expecting some wrestling toys and pondering the weird homoeroticness of the whole sport in general. The kid shouts, fuck you, I hate you. The mum rolls her eyes and turns her back to the kid to ignore him. And could you believe it? The kid gets on his hands and knees and starts taking the toy out of the box.
Wow.
It's go time, motherfucker.
Whoa, all right.
I position my back towards him. At this point, I'm like 2 feet away from him. His head is down, getting frustrated with those goddamn twisty tie things, and I go for the kill. I bend down to reach for one of the toys on the lower shelf. At this point, my ass is inches away from this kid's head.
I'm not sure if you're like me and everybody, but I'm really having this full picture, right? Where you get also stuff from your own experience in these types of shops. Yeah, and then actually creating a whole visual about how this should be going. Yeah. Okay, please continue.
Well, actually having been in a Target now, I can actually imagine the whole thing now. Now, generally speaking, the best way to go about this is to act casual, drop your belly bomb, and then walk away for a few seconds. Like nothing is out of the ordinary. I usually go one aisle over and listen to the kid's reaction in delight. However, today I couldn't help myself. I have my head tilted back looking at the kid out of the corner of my eye to ensure accuracy. I'm so close that from a distance it looks like I'm about to sit on him. My friend sees this happening and can no longer contain himself. He's covering his mouth with a hee-haw, hyperventilating donkey chortle. Which is fairly audible over the late 90s pop music playing on the loudspeaker. I like the detail this guy's going into.
Oh, yeah.
The kid immediately looks up towards the laughter but can't help but notice there's an ass now directly in his face. Now I'm trying not to laugh, but also panicking as I just made eye contact with him. It furrows his brow, and I look over in the mother's direction, still back towards us. I relish the moment and the look on this child's confused and naive face. The initial blast was mighty and boisterous. I swear I saw his hair blowing in the wind. If I wasn't wearing jeans, I think it could have probably blown over an empty soda can. However, what immediately followed out the chamber was truly horrifying. The fart's implication changed without notice and swiftly.
Oh no.
It went from a joyous, dry air horn squeal to a nefarious hissing with fighters. I think the little Muppet noticed the hateful metamorphosis before him, before even I did, because he wrenched his neck violently trying to get away from the personified evil being fumigated into his soul. Because of his positioning / hovering over the toy, hands and a knee, it was all in vain, as the only way out was forward, and forward would mean certain death. I had positioned myself well on the higher ground, free to escape or relent at any time. I bided my time until the cruel attack was over. Obviously, this child needed to reread Sun Tzu Art of War.
Oh, yes.
In total, it lasted about 5 seconds, but for that kid, it must have seemed like time was frozen. The long-term severe brain damage, which he had no doubt suffered, only added to the effect.
Yep.
When I finished with my boldness / forcing a little boy to huff my farts, there was a silent, pregnant pause. The kid was clearly shocked and stunned. No one had ever stood up to this dwarf sociopath in his whole life. I make my move first, picking up the toy I was reaching for off the low shelf and take a few steps forward and stare at it for a few seconds. On to Alligator, the only thing the kid could manage to do was burst into tears. My friend senses danger, the jig is up, and his head darts for cover. The mum turns around to see her kid with an open toy crying on the floor and me minding my own business. She walks up to him and asks what's wrong, but the kid can't speak. It took every fibre of my body not to laugh. I put the toy back on a middle shelf, turn around, give a fun or nonchalant look-see, and then begin to take my exit. Sensing that his assailant was getting away scot-free, he somehow managed to compose himself for a moment, and he shouts, "He farted on me!"
Oh, shit. Now the mom goes shitwire, right?
I could feel him pointing at me, but I continued to act like I was just browsing. I was almost around the corner when the mum goes, "Excuse me, sir." I turn around nonplussed. Who, me? By pointing to myself, she goes, "Yeah. Did you just fart on my son?" In my options, I played dumb. What? I mean, I did fart, yeah. She was on my son. Well, I mean, technically speaking, what is on? She says, "Why did you fart on my son?" At this point, the little kid has a look of schadenfreude on his face, happy to see me in trouble. I said, "Fuck you, I'm a man, I'll fart on you if I please." Yeah. I turn my attention to the little kid and stare at him, because the whole store could hear him being a little rotten asshole to his mother, so I thought I'd come over and treat him like one. Oh. The mum looks at me, her son, and the scattered G.I. Joe wrappers and box on the floor. The mum is puzzled as to what to do and says, just go.
Nice.
That's my cue. I turn around, walk away with a little extra step. I look up to see the black orb of security cameras and all the stories on Reddit about unjustly having to register as a sex offender flash before my eyes. As soon as I turn the corner, I book it outside as fast as I can while dialing my friend. Like a true friend, he's right out the front with the engine running and the risk of the trip.
Yes.
We laugh on the car ride back about the whole scene. With a slight hint of seriousness in his tone, my friend asked me, "Do you do that a lot?" Not that much, like once every 6 months or so. We both knew I was lying.
Legend. Very legendary story.
That's just a strange, bizarre story I could not say.
I wish I had written it or experienced it. I mean, I wish I would have been a friend. What an awesome dude. Yeah, respect.
I can imagine you in the car cackling away.
Yeah, definitely. Although, funny story, actually, me and my friend used to do stuff like this in the university library.
Really?
Yeah. We would always be like, we would sort of hype each other up, right? And we're both sort of very energetic. So we're both hyping each other up. And it was like, this was a silent study room, right? Mega silent, right? And everybody's just studying for exams and whatnot.
And you just rip the loudest part.
Yeah, and we're hyping each other, like, "Come on, do it, man, come on." And so you're sitting there like, okay, yeah. You're letting it go, and then jump, like, and there were like these screens in between, right? So we're hiding behind this, and then first time everybody is like, "Hey, okay," and then everybody's trying to ignore it, right? And then I tell to my friend, no you. So when the second time, everybody's like, "No, this can't be a coincidence."
Oh my God.
And then he and I are sort of laughing, right? It's like sneakily laughing. And then, some girls also found it pretty funny, so they took over, and then sort of this whole floor.
Oh my! It's like a Mexican wave.
Yeah, exactly. And there were probably like 50 people studying there, and they all heard it, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that was a pretty good move.
How old were you? Like in your 20s?
I was then
18?
20, I guess.
Oh
20,
my
21.
God.
Yeah.
Are you a big age?
Well, look, this is only 11 years ago, and I thought it was super funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny. And I was actually trying to study. But yeah, this is a legendary move. I mean, that was just funny. This was also like parenting, basically. This is, teaching manners.
But you were the worst for teachers. But they were like, I'm just pulling my hair out with you.
Huh? What?
But you were the worst for like teachers.
No. For teachers, I would be respectful.
Yeah.
Look, but this was in the student library,
okay.
right? This wasn't in the class like we're sitting in now. No, I would never do that. That would be no.
Yeah.
No,
I used to just be like sat in maths class, and some boy go, "Your mum." And you'd be like,
Yeah, all right. Yeah. No, that I found generally I don't understand that. That's just me. That if you go to class, which is non-obligatory, right? Why the heck would you sit there and not try to sort of participate?
I don't know.
And then make these sort of stupid jokes.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, but yeah.
That was the school I went to. Like literally, I once saw the maths teacher actually always cry. I felt so sorry. She just gave up. She was like, I just can't do this. Because honestly, it was constant, just like it was almost the boys. I mean, the girls would get involved as well, but like it was just constant. And I'm sat there like, I didn't get involved, but like you'd laugh, you'd laugh along with it because it was funny. But I felt sorry for the teachers, like they're trying to do their job. Yeah,
no, but that's different. At middles or in high school, it's different. Yeah, but at uni. But anyway, on the other hand, it is funny, and my whole life was spent on the hallway. So and all my high school was just sitting in the hallway.
Yeah.
So because too much noise in the classroom. Yeah.
It's just such weird things. Like I remember once, this was, I don't know if anyone's had a similar experience, but it was the worst. The boys used to like break off a piece of pen. Like the sharp bit, put it in a piece of paper and flick it at the back of your neck. And you'd be doing that, you'd go, ooh. You're like, ah!
Well, we would never do this with, but this was also, this is where my sensitive side comes from, right? I'm good.
Pisces moon.
No, I'm good with women, right? I mean, I can handle it, sort of relax. And I tell you why this is the case. Because whenever you put me in a classroom in high school, right? And you sit me next to like other boys, it's just too much energy, and the whole class is, You're
like, listen, man, not cool.
Well, no. Everybody, I would be sort of hyping everybody up, and teachers needed calm and stillness. So, but they also realized they couldn't sit me alone somewhere, which they first tried. But that.
Well, you just rock it back and forth.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. So or still make noise, and then I spent years in the hallway, but eventually the trick became that I would be in the back of the class, in the back, not the last row, but the row before that, then on the side, and then they surround me with women. So there was
the
not...
feminine energy calmed you down.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're all just girls around me. So behind me, in front of me, on the side, there was, always at least one person, one girl in between before there was another man.
And you're looking at the boys like, I get straight bitches.
No, well, they also knew which girls to pick, right? Who were sort of chill and relaxed.
Yeah.
I was always surrounded by women, therefore during class, like 45 minutes. And then I had 15 minutes to hang out with the boys. And then I was surrounded by women again. And that helped me to chill out. But and my specialty was that I would always be very interested in their calendars, right? They're sort of the paper calendars that they have. How do you call them?
Planners.
Yeah, planners. Because they would always like put pictures and stickers in them, and I would start writing in them, and So that was my hobby.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And that calmed me down for 45 minutes, so lectures could actually continue and be sort of productive for everybody else, because otherwise it was just me and then 29 people not, being able to concentrate. So the rest of the class would not be, and I was just messing it up.
I was one of those girls.
I would imagine me sitting next to you.
Yeah. They used to
calming me down.
They used to put me next to the worst guys that were honestly they would bother me all the time. They'd sit there, Abigail.
Yeah, that's me. That's me, 100%.
It's so annoying, and they'd be like,
yeah, and then see how long you can do this.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
But you knew you couldn't do anything because then, it'd be a whole thing. So you were like, until one day I think I just snapped.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that happens.
Do you know what happened to me?
No, tell me.
This is my trauma coming out. But there was two boys sat next to me. Again, I was the peaceful girl, and they tried to. One guy went to punch the other guy, but I got in the way so they hit me in the head.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to hit you." I was like,
Yeah, but you did. You did
and you
do
know when
so.
you're just like, you can't cry because you've got to make. I was like, it's fine, but I was like,
Yeah, I've had this once that I was sort of swinging a cheese sandwich to somebody else's head. Yeah, and then unfortunately I hit this girl, and she got on her new sweater and stuff. Yeah, it was bad.
And we always remember these things as girls as well. Like,
yeah,
I used to have footballs flying at me, basketballs. If anyone throws anything at me,
yeah, and I'm still sorry also for it. But yeah, you don't think, and then you just do, and then always shit.
Just splat.
Yeah, splat, and then I had to.
Just peels it off,
I had to pay for it. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, too. And then there will always be the same thing, namely me walking to the rector. All right, and then I had to admit what I did, which was the worst. And then they would call my mom, or they wouldn't.
You quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, but I would always convince them not to call my mom, right? And typically they wouldn't. But because I was always scared of that reaction. But the worst thing that happened was that I was sitting in front because at another point, they put me in front near the window, or maybe I self-selected that spot. And I thought, it's easy because somebody else was sitting next to me. I climb over the window to get into the seat, right? So that would be easy. But there was also like the heater was over there, which hung to the wall. And I did this many, many times. So one day I just think, he then has to get all up. And so, I just go over that. So I stand on the heater, jump to my seat, and the whole heater falls off, clashes down, something breaks. The whole floor starts filling with water, right? Immediately it comes, gusting out of this thing like. So the whole school room, the whole lecture room is full of water. Then the history teacher goes haywire to me. He's like, "Okay, go." So I had to go again to the rector to say, "Look, this is what happened." He was quite chill, but he said, "Okay, I need to call. You need to go to another person and then." So to like the administrative person, and then he would call my mom.
But she wasn't mad.
No, she said, "Look, it's not his fault."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, thank God."
But you thought that she would be mad.
Yeah, I was super scared that she would be super mad. But then the next thing happened that, of course, the whole school knew that I was the one to sort of do this, because the whole section. Water was going everywhere. I had to close it all off. It had to dry for 6 weeks. People's glasses were changed and everything, and everybody knew it was me. But yeah, on the other hand, I did leave. And then I was so scared because my mom told me that I had to pay for it, for all of the damages.
With what money? Your pocket money?
Yeah, with my pocket money. She said, "Yeah,
you go to the neighbour's car with a little toothbrush like Team Yellow. He's like, give me 40 quid.
No, yeah. So I had a newspaper route, so I did have money, but this would cost much more than I could ever pay. But this wasn't true. Of course, they were. But she kept this. Yeah, she was trying to teach me a lesson. And then one day there came a letter from school, and it was like on the table, and she said, "Look, open it." And then it was a letter about something else, but I was so fucking scared.
But no.
But I did learn my lesson, so I never do that again. Oh. Yeah. High school stories, actually a good topic.
There's an old American kids show called Drake and Josh. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's like two brothers.
Is this... No, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really funny. And there's like a little girl that's always getting them into trouble called Megan. And every time something happens, they go, Megan! I can imagine everyone at school going, Jochem!
Not again! Out! Yeah, and also the whole class, yeah. I was shortly thinking of Keenan and Kel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which was an excellent
show,
It's like
the same Nickelodeon,
yeah. All right. Good. High school stories, actually. Good topic. Yeah. Hey, maybe you know this because you're sort of a freak for this. Do you know? You have an eye for this, I should say. Do you know if there's like anywhere where you can buy like a bottle that sort of registers how much you drink?
What do you mean, like an electronic?
Yeah, so like a sort of a smartwatch, but then a bottle, so that you know how much you drink during the day.
Probably something on Amazon, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, we need to develop this. I think this is going to be a thing. Sort of, a water tracker.
Can you not just have like a litre bottle and say, I've had 3 of these?
Yeah, but I always forget how many I drink of those. So, I think I've had like already two of these today.
Get a planner.
I have it in my phone, but I just forget it then. And, this one, the smartwatch, tracks it automatically.
I'm sure there's a digital one.
Yeah, but I want it to connect to my phone. I want the data.
Digital
I want
network
the
layers.
data. Yeah. Digital layered architecture.
What would I even call it?
So I'm actually also interested in hearing if students find it nice to see that their teacher, in this case me, actually is also human. Right? That they like to hear these stories.
Yeah.
I think they do.
I do.
I
used to always get so freaked out when I saw my teacher in like the supermarket or something. He'd be like, on my it's like watching a dog on its hind legs or something. He'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It was really strange.
Yeah. I remember in high school somebody spotted a teacher in a coffee shop. And then not like in an Amsterdam coffee shop, huh?
It's when you used to see a teacher with another teacher, but oh my God, Mr. Jenkins is going out with...
Mr. Jenkins! Yeah, well, true that. All right. Oh yeah, you were searching for that? No.
No, there isn't
right.
any water.
We are done for this sessions.
Yes.
We'll see if we have another episode coming up. I'm wearing my old lady socks again. Did you see it?
I just noticed you're wearing socks.
Yeah,
Are these just
they're
normal
up until here. Yeah, just
you need some support on your legs.
yeah. I've been walking from my place to here
Okay.
all days since I've been here.
Oh, you don't have a bus anymore.
Well, one day, but then it didn't come, and I just thought, weather is good. I'll just walk.
Yeah, that's what I normally do as well.
But now it's like I walk in the morning and then also walk back in the evening. So that's 45 minutes that way and 45 minutes that way.
Okay.
So 1.5 hours of fat burn.
Yeah.
And next week I'm walking.
I was going to say, next week you're going to be blisters again.
It was part of training. These episodes are all for students to sort of relax and have some fun during their exams, studying and whatever, or between exams. Because, you need to take university super serious, but not too serious, because if you take it too serious, actually you're probably not doing better. So this is our sort of, our try at having, to relax students a little bit. So thank you for all of these funny episodes, because Abigail prepares it all. I just sit here and laugh. You also do the nice British reading, which is also much better than I could ever do. So if you haven't finished yet your exams this year, we do wish you all the best for Student Podcast. If you don't have exams, then we wish you all the best as well. And we hear you next time. You hear from us next time. Before we go on summer break, I guess.
Yeah, summer vacation.
Summer vacation. And then you can always reach out to us. And don't forget to rate us. That's important. If you please do that in Apple or Spotify or whatever else podcast you are on. That would be really appreciated by the both of us. And as always, I will give the last word to my lovely co-host, Abigail.
Bye.
Come on. You can't do this. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Yay! I must admit that you didn't lie about your basketball skills and skills with the ball.
What do you mean?
Well, you actually have good hand-eye coordination.
I know. I used to do archery.
Well, on the other hand, the mini golf wasn't. Smack! No. All right. Did you play volleyball?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, here. I don't understand why they always do so idiotic with these. All right, here, I'll hand it over for you to really smack it, okay? And I'll throw it up, and then you can smack it. No, you need to actually smash it like this. That's the smash. Alright, here we go. Smash! Smash! Yeah.
I got the tip of it.
Yeah, you can't do it. Where is it? Alright. Shall I stand on it?
No, leave it. Let it just fly that side.